Good evening, ma'am. Shall we start the program, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It gives my
It gives
immense
my
pleasure
immense
to
pleasure to
welcome you
welcome
all
you
to
all
the
to the
a 5 days
five days
FDP
FDP
Faculty
Faculty
Development
Development
Program
Program
organized
organized
by
by
LKP
LKP
Academy.
Academy.
Today, we
Today
are
we are
delighted
delighted
to
to
have
have
with
with
us
us
our
our
esteemed
esteemed
resource
resource
person,
person,
Dr. S. Karunya, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of English, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Today's session will focus on self-care and wellness, an important topic for every educator to maintain a healthy and balanced academic journey. We are truly happy to have you with us, ma'am. Without further delay, I warmly invite, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your introduction. Thank you. So, shall we start?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
A
Yeah,
pleasant
yes, ma'am.
evening
A
to one and
pleasant
all
evening
present
to one and all
here,
present
to
here,
the
to the
learned
learned
and
and
the
the
erudite
erudite
listeners
listeners
here.
here.
And I would
And I would
like
like
to
to
thank
thank
Monica
Monica
ma'am for
ma'am for
taking
taking
me
me
in,
in,
and
and
I
I
would
would
like
like
to
to
thank
thank
their
their
team
team
for
for
their
their
stupendous
stupendous
effort.
effort.
Thank you
Thank you
everyone for
everyone for
joining me
joining
for
here for
this
this
important
important
faculty
faculty
development
development
program, which
program,
is
which is
going to be
going to be
conducted
conducted
for a
for a
week.
week.
And the
And the
topic for
topic for
today
today
is
is
resilience,
resilience,
self
self
care,
care,
and
and
wellness.
wellness.
And you may
And
be
you may be
wondering why
wondering
I
why I
have
have
taken
taken
three
three
topics
topics
for
for
today's
today's
presentation. It
presentation.
is
It is
like
like
each one
each
is
one is
interconnected.
interconnected.
See,
See,
the resilience. Um, that actually has the connection with the self care, and the self resilience and self care has connection with wellness. That is, if one thing goes wrong, the other two things will actually get disturbed, and our life will be a chaos if ever we are not going to maintain these three at the same order or the same level. So, and that is why I prefer to choose this topic, that is resilience, self care, and wellness. And I would like to know what is your idea on resilience? And if you are interested, you can just unmute yourself and you can talk about it. What is resilience? Do we have option for the participant unmuting themselves to answer, ma'am? Or you can even
or you
message
can
in the
even
chat box.
message in
What
the
is
chat box, what is
resilience?
resilience?
Because it
Because
is
it is
not the
not the
topic
topic
that
that
it is
it is
something
something
strange or
strange or
something
something
we
we
haven't
haven't
yet
yet
heard
heard
of
of
or
or
we
we
haven't
haven't
experienced.
experienced.
It
It
is
is
every
every
day
day
we
we
actually
actually
face
face
this
this
thing.
thing.
That
That
is,
is,
the
the
resilience
resilience
is
is
nothing
nothing
but
but
the
the
person's
person's
ability
ability
to
to
come
come
out
out
of
of
their
their
adversity,
adversity,
their
their
issues,
issues,
their
their
problems
problems
in
in
their
their
life
life
or
or
their
their
difficult
difficult
situations.
situations.
It
It
is
is
not
not
like
like
only
only
few
few
people
people
will
will
have
have
problems
problems
and
and
other
other
people
people
will
will
actually
actually
have
have
a
a
happy
happy
and the
and the
blessed
blessed
life.
life.
No,
No,
each
each
one
one
of
of
us
us
has
has
some
some
problems
problems
and
and
some
some
of
of
our
our
issues to carry on our shoulders. Here, I would like to start with a quote by Maya Angelou. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Okay, this is a powerful word by Maya Angelou. That is, we will come across with a lot of problems, the miseries, the adversity, the misfortunes in our life. But we have to make sure that it don't disturb our peace of mind. And if ever we are disturbed, and if our peace of mind gets disturbed, and everything will actually will not fall into the right order after that. So we have to bounce back from our difficult situation. It is whenever we have a difficult situation in our life, we should have a positive outlook on about life, and we should always have the different perspective how we have to look at certain things. If we are going to look at everything in the same lens, then definitely it will be a disorder and we will not have a happy life. So the resilience is like a muscle which has to be built and strengthened. So this resilience is when we have the difficult situation, when we face problems, it is to build ourselves. It is to chisel ourselves. That is, we have to come out or we have to remove the unwanted things from our character, from our body, from our life. And only then we can make a happy living. So we have to embrace a growthing mindset. That is, we have to progress in our life. So if ever we stumble because of certain hindrances in our life, we will stay where we stand. So we have to consider that hindrance or the obstacle as our growing factor. Like we have to learn from that disturbance or the hindrance, and we have to come out of that issue. And we have to stay connected, stay rooted to what we are. And when we actually think about resilience, obviously we have to think about the self care and the wellness associated with that. That is, we have to be mindful about ourselves, like how we look at ourselves and how we have to take care of ourselves. So if we are not going to take care of ourselves, it actually disturbs our mind and everything actually goes like a chain. So that chain will be disturbed and there will be some changes in our life, and that change will not be actually positive if we are not going to take care of ourselves. So this resilience is nothing but a quiet voice which actually whispers to each and every one, that is, try one more time, try one more time. It is whispers in our ears, and certain times we don't heed to it, we just pass it on and we just avoid that whisper that it is nothing like that and we can just move on. No, listen to your intuition, listen to that whisper that try one more time. When you are, see, nowadays it has become a crucial art of managing the professional goals and also the personal commitments. We have to tackle both, irrespective of the gender or irrespective of the profession in which we are associated. We have this maze, you can't actually come out of it. Instead of thinking it as a maze that is taking care of professional goals and also personal commitments, we have to take that as a responsibility. We have to enjoy and do it. So each and every day we will have certain issues in our office or in our institution, in the company where we work, or even it may be in our home. But whenever we face problem, we have to just be quiet and analyze what is the problem, and are we supposed to react to that situation immediately or do we have to give a pass? When you understand, when you have the clarity of giving pass to certain situations in your life, then you are the true winner. Because if you are going to react immediately, see, there is one situation like there will be a waiter, and when he happens to walk um, in a hotel, that time the cockroach just flies and just sits on his hand. Okay, so it is not the problem of the cockroach how he responds to it. If he just did like this, it would have just threw it away. But he was shouting and he threw everything aside, and it was a chaos. It was a lot of disturbance happening, and it is not only the one person's disturbance. He was actually disturbing other people also because of that one cockroach. So how we react to certain situation, and which that will actually lead to different scenario of our understanding and scenario of our living as well. So here I would like to give you a snippet of a story. That is, once there was a monk and a master, and the monk, he was actually walking, traveling for a long way, and he was very tired, exhausted, and he just came there to meet the master. He was really disturbed. So he thought like if ever he meets the master, he will get some light out of his words. So the monk traveled a long way to meet this master. And that time he just explained to the master that he has been enduring so many problems in his life, and he couldn't endure it more, and he really had a fear that he may shout at people out of fear and out of insecurity, out of that anger. So he was really worried that that shouldn't happen. So he just explained everything to the master, and the master, he quietly took out two arrows, and he just showed those arrows to the monk. He just asked him, "What are those?" Then the monk answered him that those are two arrows. And that time he started to explain. That is, the first arrow that he shown, that is actually represents sufferings that life brings to each and every one of us. So that arrow, it is unavoidable. We have to face it in our life because there are a lot of situation like we have to face those situations in our life. So that is the first arrow. So that happens because of the outside force. The second arrow he showed, and he explained like this: second arrow is the disturbance that comes from within. That is when we the suffering what we create. The first arrow is the outside forces and the suffering what we actually experience from outside. But the second arrow is the suffering what we create. That is when we have problems for ourselves through our resentment, or we actually shout at or we respond to it differently. We should need that patience about that situation, like how it has to be handled. Instead of it, we actually worry too much. We have a lot of anxiety towards a problem, and we have a lot of fear. So we don't give that pass to that situation. So we are creating suffering within ourselves. So the second suffering is what we create. It is not the external forces. It is our it happens inward. That is our mind is actually the problem, like how we respond to a situation. Okay, so do not let your mind shoot a second arrow. That is, do not let your mind to throw you the second problem. The first problem is inevitable that we have it in our life. That is because of the external forces. But if how you react to that situation, that will become your second arrow. Like if you are going to choose peace, if you are going to choose the path of resonance, if you are going to choose the path of resilience, that is completely different. You will bounce back with a lot of clarity and wisdom. But if you are going to respond to the situation immediately without understanding the situation, that is actually the second arrow, which is going to create a lot of trouble in your life. Okay, so always when you have problems, kindly react with wisdom instead of anger. And we need not ask every time like how why is it only me who experience lot of problems or sufferings in our life, and why everyone is having a happy and blessed life. It is not like that. Each one of us has different uh, situation and different problems in our life. So the only thing is how we react to it, how we respond to it, that makes a lot of difference in our life. So here again, I would like to talk about, give you a short story. It is a Zen story. That is, it is about empty boat. That is, once a monk, he was just meditating in his boat peacefully. It was a quiet evening, so there was no disturbances anywhere. And when he was actually meditating, he could feel the disturbance of the other boat, which was actually disturbing his boat, in which he was actually seated in that river. And he was not ready to open his eyes, but he was like he was really angry that someone is disturbing him when he was in his meditation. So his anger was building slowly, and after a few minutes he couldn't control his anger because it was disturbing continuously. The boat was striking at his boat continuously. So uh, since he had no other option, he just opened his eyes, and when he looked at, he was really surprised. He was perplexed because there was none in that boat. Okay, that was an empty boat. But he thought that to be an external force which was actually disturbing him. But that was actually his thought. Okay, how he thought like someone was there to disturb his peace of mind, to disturb his meditation. This is what happening in our real life. Okay, we actually think and blame others for our mistakes. Okay, if we have to understand, and we have to speculate on what we do and how we react to certain situation, and how we respond to certain situation will actually give a different light, a different spectrum of understanding of our life. So instead of actually blaming it on the empty board which has actually passed because of the because of that air, he was just passing comment on that board that he before he opened his eyes. So only after he realized that he had made a mistake, and he was actually blaming it on the empty board, none was there on that board. Okay, so this is what happening everywhere. So we have to like understand what we lack, and we have to understand our shortcomings. We have to understand our mistakes. And as soon as we think that we have done a mistake, it is see, in each one of our lives, it is not like we haven't done any mistakes at all. No, we make mistakes, we commit mistakes, but what do we learn from those mistakes? That matters the most. So if you're not going to learn from that mistake, that same problem will come in different a spectrum, different scenario. Okay, so every now and then we face the same situation because we don't realize our problem from that mistake. So when you don't realize your problem, the problem will come, will keep on coming to you. It is just a boomerang. Okay, it will just bounce back till you understand what life is trying to teach you. So when you learn a lesson quickly, you will not experience the same problem in your life thereafter. So it will be some other situation. And when you learn again what you have done a mistake, or what you have learned from that particular thing, again you will not face the same situation again in your life. So overall it is like how what you understand, how you respond to it, that matters the most. And you may think like it is a simple topic and which is not needed for our day to day life when we have a lot of serious issues. No, this topic is one of the serious issues because in the process of resilience, in the process of coming back, or in the process of fighting with ourselves, like we have to prove ourselves to the whole world, we forget who we are and we forget our purpose of living. We are not here to compete with others, we are here to enjoy our life. Because as each and every one of us know, our life has a short span. We do not know about the next second. So we have to make our living a happy one. So if we are going to compete with others every other time, when are we going to live? So that competition is not actually needed. Just live your life, and when life teaches you a lesson, learn from it and move on, instead of lamenting about it, and instead of actually uh, complaining about others about this issue. Okay, it may be your fault also, just learn from your mistakes, that matters the most. Okay, so the next time when the whisper comes near your ears, like just one more time, don't give up, just try it, because it will give a lot of clarity in your life. You have to try again and again. Okay, so we have to understand the sense of the purpose, how, why are we living in this world. Okay, and we should have that willpower. Whatever the problem we face in our life, we should not give up. We should have that willpower that one day or the other we will bounce back. I will come out with more colors, with a lot of vibrant energy. So that ebullient energy should be there within ourselves. So just love your life. Okay, you should have that determination, like who you are. And whenever they see, it is not like we will have travel our life in the same line. No, sometimes you will have a downfall, sometimes it will go up. So whatever it may be, you have the determination, like whatever problems I face it in my life, I'm not going to give up, and I have the determination to fight back and win in my life. So that willpower, that ebullient energy, that exuberant spirit, that positive outlook, we should have it in our life. Okay, and when you actually start to love yourself, the world will start to love you. Okay, like it is just like a mirror. The whole world is like a mirror, or the life is a mirror only. Like how you look at it, the same way the world will also look at you. So if you are going to treat yourself as a miserable one, or the person who has faced failure, who is not fit for anything, then your mindset will actually instruct your body also to accept the same. Here I would like to talk about Bruce Lee, the martial art fighter who is no more, but I think most of you know about Bruce Lee. What happened was Bruce Lee, he has given that wisdom of thought to everyone. That is, how you treat yourself, that matters the most. That is, we should always have the positive affirmation about ourselves. Like can do it. We should do it. Like we shouldn't give up on our thoughts. We shouldn't give up on ourselves. So instead of saying that I can't do it, I'm not fit enough for this, you should always give a positive affirmation, that is, I can do it. I'm fit enough to do this. I will come out of this problem. I will face this situation, whatever the adverse situation it may be. Whatever the misfortunes I have it in my life, I will face it boldly. So it is like you have to give that positive affirmation, because our body listens to our mind. So if ever your mind is going to keep on insisting your body that you are not fit enough for anything, you are weak, you are not going to bring changes in the lives of people, so it will only the your body will also start to listen to whatever you say. So always give positive affirmation to yourself. That is what the great martial art fighter Bruce Lee himself has given as thought of wisdom to many of his followers. So just love yourself for what you are. Okay, and always accept constructive criticism. So in our day-to-day life, in this scenario, we always face with a lot of criticism, and we need not actually worry about the criticisms whatever we face in our life. Only for the constructive criticism, we need not actually feel for it, but we can learn from if ever we have done any mistakes or if anything has to be corrected, we can learn from that constructive criticism. We receive it from people who really think like there should be some change in ourselves. So kindly accept constructive criticism and find opportunities in difficult situation. That is, there will always be silver lining in every situation. See, everything is a blessing in disguise. So if ever you face a difficult situation, that will actually help you to come out of certain other problems in your life. So everything is a blessing in disguise, and kindly don't curse your problems. Instead, just be patient that that problem is going to teach you something valuable. Okay, it is not like our life will come slowly, sit near you and teach you like this thing and this is that thing. You should do like this. You should not do like this. No, it is not going to teach you quietly seated next to you. It will be very harsh. Okay, it is a hardcore truth that we have to accept. So, when life is trying to teach us something, just learn from it. Okay, instead of finding fault, you just get opportunities from that difficult situation, because that difficult situation may actually pay a path for higher goal in your life. So just be patient, okay, and learn from your experience, because experience is the great teacher. Because knowledge comes only from learning the books, but wisdom comes out of experience. So learn from your experience. That wisdom will not actually be taught by anyone or anything. Okay, it may be like a learned people, or it may be like experienced people. They can teach you wisdom, but unless and until you experience in your life, it will be difficult for you to understand what the situation has, why that situation has come in your life. Okay, and also accept changes in your life. Okay, it is there to teach you something, and also accept challenges in your life, because when you have challenges, your potential will actually come out of you. If you don't have challenges, your path will be full of bed of roses. You will not understand what life is. And one day when you have a serious issues, serious threat in your life, you will not have that confidence to live your life. So always face challenges. The challenges will teach you a lot of moral, ethical values. How you have to live your life, how you have to divert your mind from certain things, how you have to keep yourself aloof from certain things. Okay, and whenever you have certain problems in your life, bounce back and you grow from it. It is not like you have to stop your growth. Whatever the problem it may be, you have that growth from the problem that you have faced. Okay, and build a stronger sense of well-being and fulfillment. Like you should have that fulfillment your life in your life, that you have done something great and you are living a content life. So if you are not going to have the content life in yourself, then you can't have a happy life. So always be content in what you have. Okay, and also when you have that self struggle struggle will actually give you that self confidence. See, whatever, how much ever rich you are, how much ever learned you are, if you haven't faced any struggles in your life, definitely you will not have that self struggle. See, when you have success in your life, that is an easy task for you. Like it gives you happiness. But when you have a failure, you will learn great lessons from the failure. You will know how to face failure, and it is not like falling is a problem, but how fast you bounce back to your position, that matters the most. So when you actually face all these struggles, that self struggle will actually help you to have that self confidence about yourself, and that self confidence will actually give you that self esteem, that self worth, that self respect you will gain for yourself. So, when you have struggles in your life, you gain self confidence. And out of that self confidence, you have that, you understand, you realize what self esteem is and what self worth is, and what self respect is, and how you have to respect yourself for what you are. So that will come only after facing this hardcore struggles in your life. Okay, and analyze the situation before you respond to it. So when you analyze the situation, you will really understand whether that problem needs a pass or you have to react to that situation immediately. So analyze that situation and know your strength, because if you have to be a resilient person, you should know what is your strength, what is your weakness. If you have any weakness in you, kindly rebuild yourself. Okay, you would have listened to certain the words or the quotes, that is, when life throws stones at you, kindly collect all those and build a castle out of it. Okay, and if that life is not going to throw stones at you, how will you build a castle? How will you have those stones to build a castle? Okay, so you should always have those problems to uh, analyze who you are, know your self worth, to know your strength, and to build your castle or the empire, so that where in that castle or the empire you can be the king or the queen whom you would whom you want to be in your life. Okay, so always have that big dream in your life. Don't limit yourself. So like as Maya Angelou has stated, like when you have problems, you come out of it, you face it, you let to have a positive changes transformation in your life, but don't make those problems to reduce your worth. Okay, so always have that big dream in your life, like you have to achieve more and more. Okay, and never ever give up in your life. Whatever the problems, whatever the situation it may be, maybe people will not understand you, people may have many critical views on you, but don't give up at any situation. Okay, and it is always have a proper planning and execution. If you don't have a proper planning, the execution will always have a problem. So you have a proper planning about how you have to go on with your professional life and how you have to go on with your personal life. So don't confuse both. So when you are in your professional setup, don't bring any of the problems that you have it in your mind about your personal the scenario or the personal situation. And when you are in your personal life, kindly don't make your professional life to disturb your peace of mind in your personal life. So always have a proper planning and execution. So you can execute properly only when you have a proper planning. So you all should always have that balance with work and family. So when you have that balance with work and family, obviously you will not face any of your inner struggles which will actually disturb your peace of mind. So and whatever the problems you have it in your life, it is you have to grow stronger and stronger with each passing day. Okay, and there are 5 C's of resilience, that is competence, that is the skill and the abilities that you have to overcome the hurdles in your life, and the confidence, that is you learn from your mistakes, you gain wisdom from your experience. And the connection is you should have a good connection with your family, friends and close circle. If that connection is disturbed, then obviously all our pattern will also get disturbed. So always have a good connection in your life. So a character, think about the moral and ethical values which has been taught to us right from our childhood, maybe through stories or maybe through the stories of our grandma or the grandfather or grandfathers in general. Okay, and just think about what do you contribute to the society. Okay, let it be a positive impact that you create in the society. See, each one of us live our own life, but what do we contribute to the society? Is it worth giving to the society? It is worth remembering about ourselves, about our contribution. Just think of it. Do you want to just exist in this world, or do you have to make a worth living? So just create a positive impact in your life. Okay, and always have that self awareness, and then have that mindfulness. Okay, and when you are talking about this resilience, when I was talking to you about this pillar, I'm sorry, two arrows, what the master has talked to or explained to the monk, that is, always we are disturbed with our second arrow. Immediately we respond to a situation out of fear, anxiety, instead of analyzing or understanding the situation. So when we understand the situation, when we understand our worth, we actually give a pass in that situation. And maybe if you are in anxiety or anger, after some time, you give solution for that problem. You think wisely with your wisdom, and then you make a decision. Okay, that will actually uh, make it will actually assist you to come out of your problem. And if ever you are going to hold on to that second arrow, that if you are going to inject problems into your mind because of your reaction to it, do you know what happens? You are disturbing your self care. See, when we have problems in our life, we actually it is like our suicidal motive, that is, we start to disturb our peace of mind. So when it actually happens, we do not think about ourselves, our life. We should love ourselves unconditionally. As I say, as I told you already, when you love yourself unconditionally, the world will start to love you. So that is the self care. Okay, so if ever you have done some mistakes in your life, you need not actually punish you for the little mistake that you have done. You can just pause it, you can just pause them for some time, you can learn from your mistakes, and you make sure that you don't repeat it in the future. In that way you can save your peace of mind, and you are saving that situation as well. So if ever you are going to create trouble to your mind, what you are doing is actually you are actually disturbing your life. That's self care. You don't think anything good about yourself. Okay, just be like the bamboo, that is, which bends with the storm but does not break. Okay, we can bend for the situation, we can bend for any problems in our lives, but just like the bamboo, make sure whatever the difficult situation it may be, whatever the difficult scenario you are into, you can just bend but bounce back to your own level. Don't what to say, don't it is like it is a process, and this is actually an conscious way of practicing. Okay, and if you are not going to practice it, instead of bending, you will just break yourself completely. So your life is in your hands. So we have to practice that mindfulness in all things, like how, what we eat, how we react to certain situations. So everything matters the most. And when we have problems, detach yourself from that problem, pain, or the suffering. Because when you have a lot of attachment towards that particular problem, it will not give you the clarity to make any decision. So kindly detach yourself when you are into some problem. So detachment will actually help you to find your way. And always when you have your hard times, turn your hard times into stepping stones for your success. Instead of thinking about it, you can actually make it a stepping stone to build your castle. Okay, and allow your mind to rise above the trouble. Just like when you actually happen to look at the lotus, it will have a lot of mud outside. That atmosphere will not actually help its growth, but it will try it will actually give its force to come out of that situation. It will bloom completely. Okay, so kindly analyze yourself and think yourself as that untarnished lotus which really likes to bloom whatever the difficult situation it may be. Okay, and when you have always have that mutual respect, it may be in personal setup or it may be in professional setup. Always have that mutual respect for everyone. When you have respect for others, you will start to respect yourself also. Okay, that self respect matters the most, and you should also respect others for what they are. Okay, and always have that physical or the emotional or the social connection in that setup of our family or with in the work spot. And love yourself unconditionally. Be optimistic. Always give positive affirmation. Manage stress. Okay, and kindly know your needs and value your thoughts. If something is running in your mind, channelize it. Prioritize it. Prioritize. When you actually prioritize, you will come out of any of the problems. If you are not going to prioritize what you have to take care as the topmost, or which you have to be given the topmost priority in your life, there will be some problem. So always value your thoughts and prioritize yourself. And it may be a small achievement or the big achievements in your life. Make sure like you celebrate every achievements, because if you are not going to celebrate yourself for what you are, then we can't expect other people to celebrate for whatever you have done in your life. So celebrate, and always have the cheerful smile. See, this is all I tell it for the self care, because when you have problems, it is not like we should have a long face. We should always be in trouble. We should always what is it, we should always pass on the negative vibe to others. No, it is not like that. Okay, even if you have a lot of problems, you can always have the cheerful smile on your face. When you greet others, kindly have that note of positivity, and keep trying on new things. When you really think like you are bored of certain things, you divert your attention on new things, and always trust the process. See, good things take time. So when you have problems in your life, you need not actually give up. Instead, trust the process. Good things will definitely take time, but it will definitely happen at the right time for sure. And have a clarity of thought on how to respond to a challenging situation. And you have to forgive yourself for your mistake, and at the same time forgive others for their mistakes. In that way, you actually regain your peace of mind, and you will also know how you have to respond to your situation. Don't respond to people, respond to situation. Okay, when you actually have that vengeance on people, whatever they do, it will actually disturb your peace of mind. Just forgive others for their mistakes. Okay, all our hands are not sorry, fingers are not in the same length. Each one has its different variation. The same way, each one of us is different and each one of us is unique. So kindly appreciate others for what they are. And if you are not so happy about them, you just say hi and hello, but you can just forgive them for their mistakes. You need not actually think in your mind every now and then. That will actually disturb your peace of mind, and you are not going to gain anything out of it, because our life is a short span, and we need not actually carry all those vengeance on our shoulders in our life. Okay, and learn to say no. When you learn to say no in your life, you are halfway through your success. That is, you should prioritize, and you should also, if it is no, you have to say no. And you need not actually a mediocre like yes or no. Okay, I will do. No, if it is a no, say no. Learn to say no. And when you learn to say no, people will also understand for what you stick on to and for what you will not actually support. So just have that in your mind, and always keep your head high. Like you keep that you have to feel proud about yourself, because you have traveled so many situations in your life, and you have endured so many problems in your life. So how much you have endured, so you should always feel proud about yourself for what you have contributed in your life. So instead of making complaints about yourself like you are not good enough for this, you are not good enough for that, no, you are traveling in a smooth path. So Just learn from your mistakes and keep your head high. That is, you feel proud about yourself, about the contribution that you have made so far in your life. Okay, and actually healthy mind is a healthy body. So if you are not going to, that is self care. So if you are not going to take care of yourself, that is, if you are going to keep on worrying about the problems that you face it in your life, and if you are going to what to say, scold about the person who has disturbed your peace of mind. So, in every other way, you are actually spoiling your body. A healthy mind is a healthy body. So, when your mind is healthy, when your mind is out of this fear, anxiety, the vengeance, the misfortunes, the adversity, so when your mind is out of all these problems, they obviously you will have a healthy body as well. So if you are not going to take care of your mind, it will actually spoil your body as well. And you know very well, like if our body is affected, you can't retain your health. It will take a lot of time and you have to undergo a lot of process like the medication and everything. So instead, it's a easy process, like you accept yourself for what you are and have a healthy mind to have a healthy body. And to always have that mental clarity, the focus and peace of mind about everything in your life. And there is again an interconnectedness between this mental being and the physical well-being. So have that self-care, like accept yourself, love yourself, trust yourself for what you are, and don't give up on yourself. Okay, chisel yourself. Like if you think anything is unneeded, chisel yourself, mold yourself completely. And when you start to love yourself, again the world will start to love you for what you are. Okay, and always when you have this problems in your life, if you are not following that resilience, then your self care gets disturbed. That is, your sleep pattern will get disturbed, and also your eating disorder. You will have that eating disorder. You will eat a lot, or you will not eat at all. Okay, you will not have that appetite for eating. So it will all happen when you have that mind blues. So always take care of your mind so that it will take care of your body as well. So it that healthy mind will have a healthy body. Otherwise you will have a eating disorder. Then that there will be, like, you have to manage sleep and stress, because when you have problem, your sleep will get disturbed. And also, because if you don't have a good diet, and if your sleep gets disturbed, obviously you will have a lot of stress in your life. So always manage that stress in your manage you should have that management of stress. That is, when you have the clarity about yourself, you will not have any problems in your life. And even if you have any problems, you make sure that it doesn't disturb your mind and body. Just give pass to that situation and then react to that situation how it is needed to be reacted. Instead, don't just take the second arrow to make yourself suffer. Okay, and this is actually overall well-being. Like when you take care of yourself and embrace the struggle. When you embrace the struggle, that is actually the own you own the victory. And you have to, from ashes to radiance. That is, you may be like an ashes, fit enough for nothing, or you would have endured so many problems in your life. But when you have that resilience, when you actually take care of yourself, that self-care is there. When you have that wellness, that is, when you what you eat also, you have that mindfulness about what you think, what you eat, how you sleep, how you react to that situation. So when you have that mindfulness about everything, your path will be from ashes to radiance. You will start to radiate energy. You will start to shine altogether. Okay, so, and as Swami Vivekananda has said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So, you don't give a hurdle to yourself that this is enough for your life. No. And when you have like three or four problems or the struggles in your life, don't think like maybe you will not, you should have that perseverance. Okay, that resilience, that perseverance, like without giving up, you have to bounce back. You should always give yourself that thought that you can do it and you have to achieve it. And here I would like you to read, I would want you to read the poem Rudyard Kipling's If poem, like how you have to um, like resilient, how you have to love yourself, how you have to be self confident, and whatever the problems you face, how you have to come out of the difficult situation in your life, that is actually taught through this particular poem. If okay, and move through life with composure, calm and composure. That is, you need not have that fear or that anger in you. Okay, with calm and composed nature, analyze the situation and face it, and always adorn you with strength and dignity. Okay, that confidence is the best attire what everyone can wear. Okay, that would be the best attire that I would recommend. So always have that confidence, the determination that whatever the difficult scenario it will be, I will come out of it and I will face it. So always don't follow the crowd. When you follow the crowd, you always have that competitive mind. That is, you should go, you should actually follow their footsteps, you have to listen to their words, and you have to behave in the same way. So when you don't follow the crowd, let the crowd follow you. That is, kindly be a rare kind, kindly be different, kindly be unique. Being unique is nothing wrong. Okay, let the crowd follow you. You need not actually follow the crowd, let the crowd follow you. And the last is, when life is sweet, say thank you and celebrate it, and when life is bitter, say thank you and grow. So let not the external circumstances disturb our inner peace of mind. So again I tell you, all these three are actually interconnected. So when we are resilient, we have to take care of our self care, and we have to take care of our mindfulness, that wellness. So if you are not going to take care of your wellness, then the life will be completely miserable. So I would like to end my session with a story that is it happens in China. That is, once there was an old woman who doesn't react to any of the situation, and people will actually have so much of respect to her. In the beginning, she too had faced a lot of troubles for what she was, because she was not reacting to any of the situation. So people had different of opinion, a difference of opinion about that old woman. Okay, so when she was young, she faced a lot of problems, criticism, everything she had faced. And one day, a young man who happened to travel from the other place to here, he listened to the story about that particular woman who doesn't react to any situation. And this particular man, he was so curious, and he was not so happy about the story, whatever he has heard. Okay, and his ego was actually pricking him, because if we are a human, you have to respond to a situation, whatever the situation may be. So he went to that old woman's house, and when he went there, wantedly he was trying to abuse the old woman. He wanted to pull the legs of the old woman, and the old woman, she was very polite, and she did not respond to any of his words, and she was staying quiet. And one the two the two times or three times, every time whenever he was trying to hurt the old woman, the old woman did not actually talk anything in return. She will just smile and she will just move on. And later on, he understood the power of being silent. Okay, when you are silent, it doesn't mean like you are weak and you are not ready to face the situation, you are a coward. No. Silence is the best weapon that we all can carry it in our life. That is, in certain situation, we have to follow silence. Even if they are going to scold us full, don't react to the situation, don't react to the word, don't react to people. Okay, just move on. When you stop responding to people, people will understand your boundary. They will also understand where they have to talk and what they have to talk to you. So it is in your limit to set that boundary. So whatever they talk, you just don't react, because there are certain times, or there are certain people who expect that reaction from you, that response from you, so that they can actually start with some other problem. So when you stop expecting from people, and when you stop reacting to people obviously they will understand they cannot provoke you, they cannot disturb your peace of mind, because that peace of mind is in your boundary, that is you have drawn that Lakshman Rekha for yourself, that is you are not going to allow anyone inside that Lakshman Rekha to disturb your peace of mind. Okay, so when people understand about your boundary, you are making you are giving clarity to people that what you will accept and what you will not accept, and for what you will respond and for what you will be quiet. So always have that silence as the best weapon in your life. So instead of reacting to people or situation immediately, kindly give a pass, analyze the situation, know your strength, and think twice whether you have to react to the situation or you have to be calm. And if the mind says like you have to be calm, just be calm. That silence doesn't mean that you are covered and you are not fit for anything. That silence is actually the strongest weapon what we can hold on. And kindly take care of your mind, because if your mind is not clear, if your mind is disturbed, obviously it will disturb your body. And when we are actually when we are in our when our age is in 20s or 25, that is a different story. But when we cross 30 or 35, if we are going to think about certain situations, certain problems in our life consistently, we are going to spoil our body as well. So kindly have that practice of mindfulness in what you eat, because what you intake, that also matters the most to keep your mind calm. So mindfulness about eating, thinking, sleeping, talking, and keeping yourself cool at every other difficult situation. And I hope you have enjoyed the session, and I really want every one of you to have these three in your life: resilience, like whatever the problems it may be, come out of it, and self care. Kindly have the self confidence about you. Don't give up yourself. Don't give up on yourself at any difficult situation. You can bend for any situation, but make sure that you bounce back to the same energy. Okay, and always have that wellness. Kindly keep in your mind that your body matters the most. The most what is that unique or precious person whom we have it in our life is it is ourselves. So if we are not going to take care of ourselves, we can't actually expect other people to take care of ourselves. We can't expect other people to love ourselves for what we are. So love yourself unconditionally, accept yourself for what you are, learn from your mistakes, forgive yourself and forgive others for their mistakes. Thank you once again for your patience listening. Thank you.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, no.
Ma'am, shall we continue the session, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please.
So, thank you for the participants present here. And thank you, respected research person, to have this session successfully. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We will be meeting in the next session. Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
you.